Thank you, Chair, and to the witnesses here, to all of the Sudanese communities in the diaspora and in Sudan who are watching live. Know that this committee takes the testimony provided today to heart. Obviously, it's affected families in such visceral ways. We thank you for your testimony. We thank you for bearing witness, for telling us your perspectives, and to providing us your solutions. This is obviously one of the greatest humanitarian catastrophes of this last decade. It's why this subcommittee has unanimously selected to spend the time to understand it better and to see what we can do to raise your voices in searching for solutions. Solutions toward an immediate ceasefire, solutions toward bringing perpetrators of mass violence and these atrocities to justice, solutions to restoring the dignity of Sudanese families, children, and the country and the people at large. Maybe I could begin a little bit by looking to Mr. Khalid Omer-Yousif for a bit of context. Sir, from your perspective, to what extent does the legacy of the Bashir regime contribute to sustaining this war that we have seen unfurl, particularly viscerally in the last little while?
Also, just I have one quick comment. All the witnesses that were here documented what has been committed by the RSF was true. The RSF committed the horrible atrocities against Sudanese people, and they should be accountable for that. But this actually is telling half of the truth because it kept very silent about what the other side is doing, which is being well documented by the fact-finding mission of the Human Rights Council, using chemical weapon and shelling artillery and air bomb, slaughtering people, which is documented through video. So to save the people of Sudan, you have to tell all of the truth, that there are two sides killing the Sudanese people. The finance and the arming for them should be stopped. Both of them should be accountable. Both of them should not define the future of Sudan, and the future of Sudan should be defined by the Sudanese. And this leads me to the very good question about the legacy of Bashir regime. Actually, we have two sides whether when SAF is penetrated by the Muslim Brotherhood, it has been affected and controlled actually by the Muslim Brotherhood, and you have the RSF, which actually the product of the same regime. The crimes now have been committed in Al-Fashir in refugee camps like Zamzam and like Abu Shok. Zamzam and Abu Shok, actually, there are people here who has been in refugee camp, in IDP camp for more than 20 years. It has been driven by Bashir regime, actually. And for all these 20 years, they couldn't go back to their village because Bashir regime actually burned their village. It is the Bashir regime killed them twice. Killed them the first time at the first genocide of Darfur, and now killing them again by a war between two products of the Bashir regime, which they are the source of the destruction of the country. The two products of the Bashir regime, they killed the aspiration of the Sudanese people when they did the coup in 2021 against the public uprising of the Sudanese people. So here, we should not shy away or tear our eyes from the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is the brutal fascist dictatorship that took the country to be divided, committed the first genocide, ignited this war, and actively working in this war to continue. So to stop the war, you need to name all of the perpetrators of the crimes, not just to speak about one criminal and be silent about the others.
We know that the SAF has been refusing to participate in that ceasefire you just called for. And the other parties, the RSF, has announced that they would comply with the ceasefire. What does that mean? What's happening now, and what does it say about the SAF for rejecting the effort for a ceasefire?
Let me be frank about that. SAF is really influenced by the presence of the Islamists within all the ranks of SAF. And the Islamists ignited this war, and they have interest in the continuation of the war, because the Islamist has been toppled through popular uprising, and the only way for them to come back to power is through chaos. So they have no interest in stopping the war, and that's why they keep actually being against every single initiative, Jeddah Initiative, Geneva Initiative, the AU, the IGAD, the ALPS, the Quad. So look for who is benefiting from the continuation of the war and target those who are benefiting from the continuation of the war to open the road for peace. The second reason is SAF ruled Sudan for more than 50 years. And the generals within the rank of SAF, they think that they should be the ruler for Sudan for the eternity. The only peace that they want is the peace that keep them in power. But the Sudanese people rejected any kind of military rule. They want this war to be the end of the military rule and the start for a civilian transition. And that's why as well, this is another reason why they are not engaging in peace initiatives.
We've had a lot of reporting recently from various organizations. The UN panel of experts in 2025 looked into how foreign states were supplying or not supplying arms to various actors here. I note that they did not mention the UAE as principally arming the RSF in 2025, but we know that Turkey, Iran, Russia, and Egypt and others have been providing the SAF with weapons, with chemical weapons, with drones, and with diplomatic cover for Hamas terrorists and others. In your mind, why is it that there's so much of the international debate is focused on one party but not the both parties for the kind of atrocities, indeed genocide, that has been conducted against the Sudanese people?
Because unfortunately, the aim of this campaign is not to stop the war. If you want to stop the war, you have to talk about all the actors that financing and arming the parties and stop this kind of support. Unfortunately, there are different reasons for speaking about some actors and be explicit about the other actor, speaking about one fighting party and be silent about the other fighting party. Unfortunately, I'm afraid that by saying this, by being silent about one side of the fighting parties and speaking about the other party, this is like a promotion for a military solution for the problem of Sudan. So by putting pressure on one side and neglect the other side, you want this side to win the war. But let me tell you one thing. We have long history of war in Sudan. No single war in Sudan has been decided militarily, and they have been extended for decades. Supporting one side is not a strategy. It's strategy for the devastation of the country. You have to put pressures on the two sides, support no one of them, cut the supply for all of them, and push them for peace. This is the only way out.